Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the singing of the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Good evening. I'm Travis Collins, principal, and on behalf of the administration, faculty, and staff of Tuscola High School, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 50th commencement exercise of Tuscola High School to honor our class of 2017. This is a night of celebration of the hard work and dedication that these young people have put in over the course of their educational careers. We are very thankful that you have gathered here with us this evening to join us in making this a special morning that you, and most importantly, our seniors, can remember. I would like to say a special thank you and recognize the following people, if they would please stand. Dr. Ann Garrett, Superintendent of Haywood County Schools. Dr. Bill Nolte, Assistant Superintendent of Haywood County Schools. And any of our Haywood County School Board members that are here in attendance this evening. Thank you for your support of Haywood County Schools, our public schools in Haywood County. I would like to express my appreciation to a few individuals for assisting with this program. Will the following please stand and remain standing to be recognized? Assistant Principals, Ms. Carol Fox, Mr. Alex Masciarelli, Mr. Jacob Shelton, and our lead teacher, Ms. Cecilia Ruth Marcus, our guidance counselors, Ms. Carrie Francoeur, Ms. Julia Plott, and Ms. Lori Mills, our choral director, Ms. Maggie Jennings, Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Sutton and Master Sergeant Steve Robertson and the ROTC Color Guard, and a special thank you to Ms. Sherry Christopher, who has coordinated this graduation ceremony. Thank you to you all. I would like to draw your attention to the graduation program. There you will find a list of our class of 2017 scholarship recipients. As of June the 10th, these seniors have received $3,568,800 in scholarship awards. We anticipate additional scholarships for announcements, but this is a great accomplishment for this senior class. Congratulations, seniors. At this time, I would like to introduce the Tuscola High School class of 2017 salutatorian, Connie Feinberg, for some welcoming remarks. Connie.
Good morning. Before I start, and before you guys start to tune me out, I need everyone to stop. Stop taking pictures, stop fidgeting, stop fixing your caps. We all look a little ridiculous. Just stop and soak this in. We're in a moment we're never going to be able to replicate again. Okay. Graduation is an incredibly strange phenomenon. It exists as a moment where we are simultaneously celebrating the past and looking towards the future. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I've been ready for this day since freshman year, when I first stepped out of car line with Rachel Lindsay and Sammy Bernardi back in our carpool days. That was the moment that began this weird, terrible, wonderful journey. Discovering ourselves, visits from Finn, living life by the phrase, fake it till you make it. Spirit days, Sug playing guitar in A building, the view from the parking lot every morning. Love, heartbreak, high school. After 4 years here, I can say senior year has by far been the weirdest year. Coming back last August, I knew I would be doing a lot of lasts. The last time I would sing the fight song all together, the last Pisgah week, the last time I would get to talk to my favorite teachers whenever I wanted to, the last time I would see snow in the mountains. What I didn't realize was how many firsts I would get to experience. This was the first year I sat in the student section at games. This was also the first year I've gone to games. I've also talked to more people this year than I have in the last 3 years combined. And because of this, I've come to appreciate this beautiful place so much more. To the underclassmen and rising upperclassmen, I know small town can sometimes feel a little suffocating, but try and learn to appreciate it. You don't realize how amazing this place is until you're about to leave. Before I get too deep into this, I want to wish my dad a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. I'd also like to take a second to thank my family and friends who have supported me, my teachers who have inspired me, the administrators who have kept things running, Miss Christopher for so many things, everyone involved in making today what it is, the people who smiled at me in the halls and made my day a little brighter, you guys, and anyone else who's made my life just a little better, and I hope you know who you are. We all had such different experiences at Tuscola. I was terrified of writing this speech because I knew I could never capture the last 4 years in the same way that McKinley has eaten, lived, and breathed Tuscola for the last 4 years. And it's an absolute honor to be up here with her, by the way. Go Tigers. Keeping this in mind, I realized at this moment in time, our past is not necessarily our greatest common factor. Rather, it's that we're all looking towards the future. I don't know about you, but I get chills every time I think about it. As soon as we walk out of these doors today, we can start the lives that we've been dreaming of for the last 4 years. Some of you have already taken the first steps. You've gotten certified to work in amazing trades. You're going to work every day and making a living. You've already taken your life into your own hands. Today is practically a formality for you. You've been adulting for a while, and I'm in awe of you. For the people who are still figuring out exactly how you're going to spend your life adulting, I'm right there with you. But we have so much potential sitting in these seats, it's absolutely overwhelming. And I know my views of the future probably aren't the same as your views of the future. Plus, I'm just one person of 214. I really wanted to know what other people think, and I'm sure you guys do too. So here are your classmates' thoughts and feelings on the future, or as I like to call them, Senior Quotes Part 2. David Flores Soriano. I think it's a mystery, and all we can do is just live life to the fullest. Sydney Brooks. Although it's saddening to realize how fast I'm growing up, I'm ready for the journey. Dallas Murray. Happy to go off and do my own thing. Taylor Austin. The future is steadily creeping up on us, and it's exciting yet frightening at the same time, because even though some of us might have a plan, we never know what life will throw at us next. All we can do is live our lives, make our choices, and be the best person that we set out to be. You control your future, no one else but you. Kyla Larson. Well, I think in the future, people need to start finding soulmates, not soulmates. Selah Chandler. For me, the future is equal parts anticipation, excitement, and fear. There is nothing more terrifying than the unknown and inevitable. However, nothing with more promise and beauty. Katie Stovall. I feel like I'm on a scary ride going to a destination unknown. The future is, Victoria Cologne, my bad. The future is filled with so many possibilities. You can either go through it scared, or you can look on the bright side and smile. Brady Myers. The future scares me, but I feel like I'm ready. Eric Parsons. I fear the future will depend on the choices made by the youth today, and if the right choices are made, our future will be better than ever. Allison Plafkin. Ugh. And last but not least, Jones Hines. The way I figure it is I've grown up here in the mountains, and I've heard it said that if you don't like the weather in the mountains, wait 10 minutes. That's the future. You don't know what's gonna happen, and it'll change a bunch. You just have to roll with it until the sun hits. This is me talking now. If you were to ask me what my biggest fear is, I would probably say jellyfish, because I don't want to admit that my biggest fear is the future. As much as I would like to, I don't know where I'll be in 10 years. Having that big of an uncertainty in our own lives is scary enough, but we live in a world that faces more and more strife every day, the problems growing exponentially with each year we allow them to. From what I can tell, as far back as graduations go, graduates have been told by the previous generation of their potential and their ability to evoke change. But I'm tired of it. I'm tired of generation after generation hoping the next will do it right this time. I want us to be able to tell our kids, hey, look, we made this world something we can be proud of. Don't screw it up. We have the ability in each one of us to change the world. Not the whole world all at once. Start small. Change your own world for the better. Change someone else's. Then maybe a few more someone else's, and a few more. Change doesn't start with shouting louder than your opposition or your oppressor. It starts with an idea, a whisper of hope. No matter where we go from here, be kind enough and brave enough to make the world a little better, something we can be proud of. Thank you.
It is with much honor that I would like to introduce to you the class of 1967 valedictorian, Miss Rachel Queen McKay, and her husband, and also a graduate of the class of 1967, Mr. Gary Mackey McKay. I present to you Tuscola's first valedictorian. Let's welcome her to the stage.
This needs to be a little closer. There we go. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. I want to begin by saying a litany of my favorite teachers, and this goes back 50 years and before that. Eula Ferguson, Roy Haupt, Wiley Smith, Lois DeWeese, Martha Plemons. Now, I say Martha Plemons because she was my geometry teacher in the 10th grade. Some people weren't crazy about her, but I really liked her because that was the year that a friend, Sam Stringfield's father, died at Christmas time in New York City. I know that you will remember a few people who have died in your class. In our class, there was Sam and Johnny McMassey and my dear friend Kathy Price Williams. There were others, but those were very close to me. The reason I said Martha Plemons was a very good teacher for me was because when Sam got back from New York City, the Christmas that his daddy died, she let him sit sideways and talk to me all the way through geometry classes. And I think we both appreciated that. If you can imagine your father dying on you. Then in 1965, the Haywood County school system was integrated, and so we were very grateful for that. Selfishly speaking, my brother, Joe, was a wrestler, and Tack Gibbs, a young, very black man, young fella, was on the wrestling team. And he was one of our first, well, I guess he was the first Tuscola state champion. Thank goodness Joe was not in his weight class because he never could have beaten him. I remember seeing Tack pin a fella in under 20 seconds. I wanted to tell you about education. I come from a long line of teachers. My mother and daddy, Sam and Mary Queen, taught between them 60 years. Mackie said for me not to tell the whole story, so I won't tell you how long I taught, but it was not 30 years. What I did when our children, David and Heather, got in elementary school, when David was in Mrs. Painter's 5th grade class, I decided that what I liked to do best was to read aloud. So I started by reading to his 5th grade class The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn and a wonderful book called Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. I read those 2 books to several classes. I read The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, I think, from cover to cover 5 times. And, you know, that is a thick book. And when you were juniors, I think you studied it in American literature. I told him at the beginning of every class that I would censor the N-word and, you know, just use another word for the hero, Jim. But I thoroughly enjoyed, that was how I paid back my daddy for my education at that Gothic rock pile in Durham. Now that's what my daughter Heather, who has Carolina blue blood running in her veins, refers to my university. And our son David went to Western and loved playing baseball. And my husband is a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech, and so we sort of have Joe Sam, my brother, he was Joe when he was a little boy. We knew him as Joe, and then in 2000, when he became a politician, he was Joe Sam. Well, Joe was extremely dyslexic. He could have been the poster child for dyslexia, and back in the early 50s, mid-50s, brain scientists and educators didn't really understand dyslexia. Letters meant absolutely nothing to my little brother. They were upside down, sideways, side-goggling, and it was just a mystery to him. When he was in the 7th grade, he had an IQ test, and Miss Mosley, who was the Latin teacher at Waynesville High School, she had to call my mom and dad in, and with much embarrassment tell them that they had an imbecile for a son. And Mother said, oh no, don't worry about that. He just can't read. And so at that point, my father said, Rachel, now you and your mother are going to have to help Joe read because he has to have some success in school. And I sort of did 2 high schools. I did my high school career, and I read to Joe, and Mother helped me read to Joe. And he graduated 10th in his class, so that shows you. And he used to say that not knowing how to read was the best thing that ever happened to him, and I had to tell him when he got a little bit older that he needed to stop saying that because it sounded so ignorant. But he believed that it helped him think, and he went on to NC State. My father said to him when he was about a junior and I was a senior, he said, now, Joe, what do you want to do? And he said, well, Dad, I don't want to grow tomatoes all my life. And Daddy said, well, then you're going to have to go to college. And I don't know how you can get in college because you have to make, in this state, since it's a land grant state, you have to make 900 on your SAT. And, 8 and 8, 1,600 is perfect score. So 900 is no great shakes. But if you can make 900, one of the schools in the North Carolina college system will have to let you in. And then you'll have to stay in. I don't know how you're going to do that since you're not a very good reader, but you have to make 900. And so Joe he made 920, I think, and got to go to State in the School of Design and became an architect. Now, he was not, of course, top in his class, but the man who married me was salutatorian in his class at Georgia Tech. I should have warned you first that I cry easily, and I always had to tell all these 5th grade students and other students that I read to that I would cry, and that didn't mean anything. Now, you might think that you wouldn't cry when something that Mark Twain wrote, but he wrote some very sensitive things that would make me cry. But anyway, Joe graduated and went on to college, and Mackie married me, and we had David and Heather. Now, I was not very good. I could make good grades because I loved to read, unlike my brother. But I did not do very well in arithmetic. I didn't do very well in numbers. Joe could understand numbers, but I couldn't. But luckily, I married a man who is a civil engineer, and he can communicate with numbers, and I don't have to worry about him much. But then I wanted to, Mackie asked me if I was going to give you any advice, and I said, I don't know, but I think I will give you a little bit of advice. Because, see, he hasn't heard this speech yet. I told him he would have to listen to it in real time because he would want to help me so much with it, and he could probably write a better speech than I can, but he didn't get to do it because I told him he wasn't asked to do it. But the advice I would give you all whenever you marry and have children is to be involved in your children's education. When Heather was a junior at Tuscola, Mackie became the president of the PTO, and that was very good thing for him to do, and I think he was a good one. And then her senior year, she was in Summit, David Trayman's Summit. He was the first director of the choral group Summit. And she came to him in the spring and said, Dad, I want you to go to be a chaperone on our spring trip to Disney World. And Mackie said, well, of course. And he said, well, why do you want me to? He's never been a chaperone at anything before. And she said, well, I've picked up that some of the boys are going to maybe get in trouble, and you should be there. And I said, well, Heather, I don't want to go. And she said, well, Mom, I don't want you to go. I just want Dad to go. So Mackie went, and I'm telling you all this just so that you know that you should be involved in your children's education. Mackie and the adults were able to keep a couple of boys out of they went to the emergency room, but they got out of the emergency room without any overdosing, and nobody went to jail. And it was a very good thing that Mackie was on that trip. So when you have families and all, be involved in your children's education if you possibly can. I don't have any electronic devices. I don't even have a phone. Mackie said that I would lose it, which is probably true. But now I have to tell you, he has dropped a phone out of his pocket in a creek on the job. So, anybody can lose a phone. But I want to tell you, if you want to look up Epictetus on your cell phones. He was a Greek slave about 2,000 years ago in Rome, and he said some very good things about education. Of course, I had a quote from John F. Kennedy. Mackie and I were in the 9th grade when Kennedy was assassinated, and anybody back then remembers that. We were in Mr. Massey's general science class and heard about it, and by the time we got to 5th period English class and walked into the room, our teacher was just sobbing. Well, I'd never seen that before, so that was how I remembered the assassination of JFK. Now, I told Mackie that I was going to make this 3 minutes long, and I think it has been about 3 minutes. So I'm going to give you my ultimate, which means my last, talking point, which is about education and the brain. Learning to the human brain, from the time a little person is born, learning is pleasurable. And so I hope that all of you in your grown-up lives have fun all your life learning. Thank you.
And now it's time for the class of 2017 slideshow presentation, which will include a special tribute to Celeste Perez, a Tuscola mountaineer who tragically passed away at the age of 17 on Sunday, February 1st, 2015. She was a native of Lee County, Florida, and today we are honored that her parents, Sharon and Troy Griffiths, are with us here this morning. In honor and in memory of Celeste today, her place among our graduates is designated with a vacant chair and a bouquet of flowers. At this time, I would like to call to the podium the Tuscola High School class of 2017 Valedictorian McKinley Morris with her farewell remarks. Here we go, champ.
What? Here we go. Good morning, fellow graduates, parents, faculty, and guests. Before I begin this morning, I would like to start by asking anyone who has previously served or is currently serving in the United States military to please stand. We would not be able to sit here this morning if it had not been for your service and sacrifice. And I just wanted to take a moment this morning to recognize you each as heroes. So if you would please stand and join me in a round of applause for those men and women. Thank you. I am genuinely honored to address every person sitting here this morning, and I feel blessed beyond belief to have this opportunity.
I love watching and listening to Coach Jimmy Valvano. Many of you may know him from his legendary ESPY speech or him taking the North Carolina state basketball team to the national championship in 1983. He was diagnosed with cancer 9 years later and then lost the battle. While Jimmy V was giving his famous ESPY speech, he stated, "If you think, you laugh, and you cry, you've got a full day. That's a heck of a day. You do that 7 days a week, and you're going to have something special." Well, I'm going to try to do the impossible and get you to think, laugh, and cry in 5 minutes. I know that some in the audience are glad I said this thing would only be 5 minutes, and others are in utter disbelief that I mentioned NC State basketball. But if you know me well enough, you should know that God, America, and football will all be referenced at some point in the next few minutes. Since senior year began, I felt like I began to appreciate the little things about the Hill. Whether it be the beautiful mountains that surround our school, the teachers standing in the hallway to offer a smile, or how having a class in E-building is like truly having a second family. As the past few months started wrapping up, the thought started to run through my mind, what does Tuscola mean to me? Not just school and football, not the academics or formulas, but its goodness, its traditions, and each of you. When I look back in 5, 10, or 20 years, I'm not going to remember the definitions or books. However, Mr. Sugg practically brainwashed us with all those quizzes, and I heard Mr. Presley has a tattoo of the formula sheet on his arm. Anyway, I'm going to remember the things that made my days a little brighter and a little sweeter. Maybe it was the time Coach Reinhardt took my drafting class on 6 or 9 field trips this past semester, or the times Big Reinhardt would scream at me across E-building in the mornings to make sure I was awake, or the times we would belt, "It's a great day to be alive" in the hallway, or maybe that was just me. These special memories are what make our school so special. The people who supported our biggest dreams, gave us a smile and high five in the hall, or simply motivated us with their dedication to attack life and give it their very best. You have each played a vital role in my journey, and you have played a vital role in someone else's. How cool is it that we have all helped each other get to the exact point we are at right now, even though most days we wouldn't do over again if we could. We have all helped one another to get to walk across this stage. We are forever a unit. No matter where we go or what we do, we will always be mountaineers, and that's the one thing that will forever bond us together. I take so much pride in the fact that for 4 years I had the opportunity of being a mountaineer. I love how we each have so many different gifts, passions, and the people who make up our school what it is. I believe with my whole heart that we are each given gifts, things that we are passionate about, and things we can use to change the world. Many of us here tonight may not even know what our gift is, but we have one. I think as we go out into life, it is for us to discover our gifts and passions, what our purpose is on this planet, and how we use it to help others. No matter where we go, where you've been, or what you've been through, I believe each of you has the ability to change the world. You have already made an impact in some way here at Tuscola and in Haywood County. Each struggle we have faced, every tear we have cried, and all the adversity is preparing us for what lies ahead. Everything we have experienced in these past 18 years is preparing us for a moment. It may not just be a moment, but many moments, or the moment where we look back and thank God for it all. When Herb Brooks coached the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team that beat the Soviets and went on to win the gold was assembling his roster, he wasn't looking for the best players, he was looking for the right players. He needed players who weren't skating for the spotlight, but those who would sacrifice for something bigger than themselves. During my short life, I have come to the realization that being the right player is far more rewarding than being the best player. Haywood County, what a place. Some of us have lived here for 18 years. Others may have moved in, moved out, and some of us can't wait to get out. Lately, though, I have realized that when it came to my college search, I found that what I thought I wanted to leave was exactly what I was looking for. This place has been one of the most influential areas on my life. I know many of us haven't ever missed a Tuscola Pisgah football game, and when we walk into Ingalls, we know at least 3 people on each aisle. Waynesville has shaped us, all of its good, bad, and ugly. Not many people get the opportunity to grow up in a place like this, where you're related to half of the graduating class, the truck is a Ford, the tractor's green, the boys have squirrel tails on their antennas, and the whole stadium sings to the marching band playing "Hey Baby" at the beginning of every fourth quarter. We are all going to go different ways, meet different people, and have different experiences, but the beginning will always be here. People tell us to bloom where we are planted, but no matter what, we will always have roots in Waynesville. I've been told to never forget or be ashamed of where you came from because it shapes where you are going. Right before Clemson was about to face Alabama in the national championship, Tigers coach Dabo Swinney told his players to let the light they have inside of them be brighter than the light shining on them. Many of you know that the Tigers went on to become the 2016 national champs after Hunter Renfrow caught a touchdown pass from Deshaun Watson in the final seconds to beat the Tide. But I love what Dabo told his players. We each have a light inside of us. It is up to us to decide how bright we want that light to shine, where we want that light to shine, and who we want that light to shine on. For the rest of our lives, we will come in contact with people who need our light to shine on them or use our light to brighten theirs. My favorite president, Ronald Reagan, shocker I know, once said, "You can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. Let your light shine, let it impact, inspire, and illuminate." Although Reagan also said, "If you can't make them see the light, make them feel the heat." We are all partaking in a huge milestone in our life today. I know one thing. I believe in every single one of you, where you want to go, what you want to do, and who you want to be. As you walk across the stage, as you sit here, think about what Tuscola means to you, the people who have impacted and believed in you. These relationships, friendships, and teachers, community are all things that are forever in my heart. Flashback to 4 years ago at our 8th grade graduation, I once again quoted Jimmy V when he said, "How do you get from where you are to where you want to be? I think you have to have an enthusiasm for life. You have to have a dream, a goal, and you have to be willing to work for it." I don't know your dreams, your goals, or your passions, but I do know that hard work is the key in success. We recently had a pastor come do revival at our church, and he talked about the concept of never quitting, because when you quit or give up on something, you forfeit your reward. I received a card in the mail the other day from a man who I had the utmost respect for. At the top of the card, it had a quote by retired Navy SEAL Commander William McRaven, which said, "Only the size of your heart matters." I'm humbled and proud to be a part of something so special this morning. I have immense pride in the fact that I'm going to walk across this stage amongst all of you, and once I throw that cap in the air, I will be a Tuscola High School alumni. Go out from today and have enthusiasm for life. Be bold in your life and be you. There is no one better than the you already are. You have each genuinely changed my life for the better, and from the bottom of my heart, I mean it when I say I love you. Never stop dreaming and never stop believing in your dreams. My dad always said, life is a roller coaster. Go for the front seat, hold your arms high, and enjoy the ride. Sorry. And this morning, I think it's appropriate that the graduating class of 2017 sings the fight song one last time. So, ba 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 ba. On Tuscola, fight right through that line. Draw a circle round on Pisgah as we did in days of old. So on Tuscola, fight right through that line. We're for you, mountain, you so win this game. Woo! Thank you for your time this morning. It was my honor to get to stand here and speak to all of you. God bless you. God bless America, and go Mounties.
Tonight we will be recognizing several faculty members for their outstanding contributions to the students of Tuscola High School. At this time, we will recognize Tuscola High School's most influential teacher for this year. Would Miss Erica Smiley please join me on the stage? Each year, this teacher is selected by the senior class, and these seniors have selected Miss Smiley as their most influential teacher. Please join me in a round of applause for Miss Smiley.
At this time, I'd like to announce and recognize the Teacher of the Year for the upcoming school year. This is a very prestigious award voted on by all our faculty members at Tuscola. It is given in recognition of an outstanding member of the faculty for their hard work in the classroom, their ability to reach and teach students, and for the great impact that they have across our campus. But before I announce this coming year's Teacher of the Year, I would like to personally thank Miss Erica Smiley, who has served as Tuscola's Teacher of the Year during 2016 and 17. Please join me again in thanking Miss Smiley for being such a remarkable teacher. And now, it is my great honor to recognize the Tuscola High School Teacher of the Year for 2017 and 2018, Miss Dawn Tosh. Miss Tosh, will you please come forward to be recognized? Congratulations, class of 2017. Last Sunday evening, I returned to my office following our baccalaureate service to put to paper my thoughts about you and about this wonderful day that we have gathered together for this morning. I sat still in my chair and I gazed across our parking lot to the misty hills that surround us. I was overwhelmed by the number of thoughts that raced through my head. My memories of you poured through my mind, each one of them gathering momentum until I was struck with one notion: hope. It was not unlike that sense of hope that I have each evening as I lay in bed thinking about all of the possibilities that might unfold the next day. But that sense of hope that overwhelmed me last Sunday was far greater, richer, brighter than the sense that I find each evening before I fall asleep. That sense of hope reached deeper inside of me. That sense of hope brought me greater peace. That sense of hope that I found as I was sitting in my office last Sunday evening stemmed from both my memories of you and all that you have achieved during your time at Tuscola, and it was inspired by all that you will do. You are amazing mountaineers. So what will you do? That is the question of the morning. Who will you walk with? In what direction will you travel? How far will you go? And what trail will you leave in your footsteps? For 50 years, mountaineers just like you have been asked and have thought about these same questions. You have answered every question that we have asked of you during your time at Tuscola, and in doing so, you have earned this day. For 50 years, mountaineers have traveled a very similar path to the one that led you here today. Maybe as many as 15,000 mountaineers have walked a stage such as this one. And now the time has come for you to do the same. So where will you go? Who will you walk with? How far will you travel? No one in this place knows the answers to these questions. We have a notion. We can project. We can pray. With those of us who have watched you grow into young women and young men, what we know is that your future is bright. Our future is bright. There are moms and dads and uncles and aunts and grandparents and cousins and friends that are here this morning because of the promise of you, because of the blessing of you, because of the hope that you provide to each of us here and that world that extends even beyond those high peaks and valleys that we call home. Over the past year, I have noticed that word, home, on t-shirts and on the backs of cars, and I am so happy that we have come to a place where we can celebrate that very sacred notion. You are here in large part because of the homes from which you come. I want you to pause for a moment, and I want you to think about home. I want you to think about the love that has brought you to this very special moment in your lives. You have earned this, and yet you know that along the way there are people peering down at you right now who have been an integral and powerful part of your journey. Mountaineers, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. I'm going to ask that tonight, this morning, as we take time to honor you, I hope that you will stand with me and thank all of those that have gathered here and have been a part of your journey. Let's stand and thank these folks. Thank you. But I have one more sincere thank you to bestow, and that thank you is to you. I have to thank you for your ability to adapt and the patience that you have shown over the past 4 years during your time on the Hill. New principal, new schedule, smart lunch, tea time, etc., etc., etc. You have probably endured and thrived in as much change over the course of the past 4 years as any group of seniors in the whole state of North Carolina. You didn't bat an eye. You didn't blink. You did what mountaineers do. You kept climbing. 50 years from now, I expect that you will be able to tell the 100th graduating class at Tuscola High School that in the midst of change, when life around us shifts and moves, mountaineers do what mountaineers do. We hunker down and we keep moving forward. So, go forth, mountaineers. All of us here are so very thankful and blessed by the light your lives have have cast upon us. Keep climbing. Tuscola is a better place because of you. Thank you. Junior marshals, will you please prepare the class of 2017 to receive their diplomas? Parents and family members gathered here this evening, we know that without you, this night could not have taken place. These young people could not have grown the way that they have become, the great people that they are, without a lot of hard work, sweat, tears, and laughter. Without you, there would be no graduation. On this very special morning, we would like to honor you as your graduate walks across the stage. I ask that you please stand when their name is called so that we can honor and celebrate this great moment in your family's story. While this is a time of great celebration, I ask that you stand and refrain from excessive jubilation. We will be honoring over 213 graduates tonight, and we would like for each of our graduates and their families to hear their graduates' names being called out and to see them walk across the stage to receive their diploma. Thank you.
Kaylee Renice Allen. Joshua Daniel Allison. Aaron Michael Ash. Taylor Forrest Austin. Daniel Joseph Baker. Sarah Ann Lee Ballou. Maddie Marie Barfield. Taylor Michael Beasley. Jacob Timothy Bennington. Samantha Christine Bernardi. Hunter Wayne Bolin. Asher Thomas Boyd. Sarah Madeline Boyd. J. Willis Bradley. Tabitha Lynn Britt. Ben Wayne Brooks. Sydney Landers Brooks. Jared Dawson Brown. Keturah Danielle Bryson. Meredith Hannah Bergen. Dustin Michael Byers. Allison Adair Cabe. Hugh Edward Caldwell. John Cody Campbell. Grace Caroline Carrier. Mary Rachel Carter. Jose Angel Castillo. Selah Mari Chandler. Michael Joseph Chastain. Evan Marshall Christensen. Sean Allen Klein. Brooke Mackenzie Cole. Victoria Isabel Colon. Madison Marie Connor. Dylan Alexander Cooley. Sam James Cox. Kyle Cody Creary. Nathaniel Charles Cutshaw. Kendall Douglas Daly. Jesse Nicole Davis. Mackenzie Alexis Dendy. Jared Thomas Duckworth. Autumn Rihanna Duffield. Alyssa Lauren Emery. Alyssa Gail Evans. Jessica Danielle Evans. Connie Danielle Feinberg. Colton Wyatt Ferguson. Jason Caleb Ferguson. Catherine Lee Fielden. David Flores Soriano. Donovan Ronald Florio. Matthew Ryan Floyd. Blake Lee Fox. Samantha K. Fry. Erica Jewel Fulmer. Carson Taylor Gaddis. Anthony Garcia. Lucas Young Garcia. Nathan William Garrison. William Austin Goforth. Jordan Mackenzie Golden. Logan Matthew Gombert. Lindsay Ann Goodson. Nicholas Michael Goodwin. Anna Lee Green. Israel Elijah Gregory. Noah Edmund Hamilton. Jones Edward Hines. Alejandra Herrera. Tracy Marie Hightower. Summer Marie Hill. Thomas Robert Hines. Jennings Elizabeth Hollifield. Trenton Leon Hollis. Angel Marie Gale Holloway. Noah James Huffman. Christopher Kinson Huggins. Peyton Emmanuel Hyatt. Jeremy Michael Jacobs. Michaela Danielle James. Bobby Keith Jenkins. Gracie Ann Marie Jenkins. Roman Julius Jenkins. Shay Lee Jenkins. Shane Michael Jenkins. Juliana Marie Johnson. Mackenzie Taylor Johnson. Savannah Lindsay Johnson. Max Randall Keener. Joy Elizabeth Kelly. Jessica Sierra King. Hannah Mae Lanning. Kyla Joan Larson. Rhonda Delane Leopard. Mitchell Parker Leverett. Rachel Catherine Lindsay. Shelley Caitlin Long. Elena Rose Lubinsky. Justin Ross Macemore. Melissa Martinez. Jacob Lee Mashburn. Skylar Seth Maurer. Peyton Dion May. Alexa Ray McCall. Mason Reed McConnell.
Andrew Hunter McCoy. Morgan K. McCracken. Anna Claire McCroy. Faith Elaine McElroy. Maggie May McGregor. Alyssa Paige McGinnis. Hannah Michelle Meadows. John Tanner Medford. Sarah Tate Medford. Linda Ariane Mertadana. Addie Elizabeth Messer. Christina Aniva Messer. Matthew Thomas Miller. Colton Brady Moore. Kyla Nikita Moore. James Delane Morgan. In absentia. Oh, sorry. Got the wrong place. McKinley Caroline Morris. James Creighton Morrow. Georgia Grace Mulhern. Dallas James Murray. Harrison Scott Muse. Brady Thomas Myers. Joseph David Napier. Rebecca Lee Nelson. William Bishop Nolte. Cole Michael Nordness. Alicia Marie Owens. Jacob Chandler Palmer. Robert Neal Palmer. Dalia Pantaleon Gallardo. Amanda Elizabeth Parsons. Eric Ryan Parsons. Sarah Grace Elizabeth Patton. Allison Lee Plafkin. Alexander Drake Plemons. Courtney Leanne Plemons. Brittany Nicole Potter. Josie Lee Presnell. Nisha Ann Price. Dylan Hunter Pridgeon. Demetrius Antonio Prosper. Dominique Raquel Raber. Colby Andrew Ramsey. Andrea Gail Rathbone. Anna Lindsay Rathbone. Justin Gaither Rathbone. Christopher Hugh Rathbone. Savannah Paige Rathbone. Lydia Marie Reese. Kaylee Brianna Regis. Kira Cheyenne Rainier. Shania Rose Rainier. Jonasia Keisha Marie Rice. Trevor Dalton Roberts. Lucas Ryan Robinson. Jason Samuel Rogers. Morgan Renee Rogers. Alexia Nicole Romero. Aiden Lee Roten. Hannah Adeline Ruff. Catherine Elizabeth Sanders. Jacob Allen Schultz. Samuel Edward Scruggs. Emily Grace Sears. Jonathan Serrano Hernandez. Hanil Jacan Shah. Eric Allen Charlo. Madison Noel Shirley. Sarah Caitlin Smart. Haley Marie Smith. Samuel Eugene Smith. Tanner Christian Smith. Elizabeth Marie Sedaris. Annalise Mary Steele. Katie Cross Stovall. Kimberly Denise Strickland. Scott Carl Eugene Stump. Trevor Michael Suttles, in absentia. Blake Jonathan Sutton. Brianna Nicole Sutton. Carly Samantha Sutton. Hayden Elliott Swanger. Aaliyah Jordan Swimmer. Isaiah Allen Swimmer. Marielle Shanice Thomas. Caleb Mitchell Tice. Lauren Elizabeth Trader. Patrick Elijah Trantham. William Luke Trantham. Christopher Brent Turner. Dalton Malik Wadi. Nathan Wayne Weaver. Ashley Nicole West. Anthony David Westhusing. Samantha Jean Whitted. Mark Camden Wiggins. Abigail Joy Williams. Chloe Brooke Williams. Adley Brooks Wilson. Dawson Jeffrey Wood. Tyler Micah Woodleaf. Sarah Elizabeth Woody. Dylan Washington Worley. Nicholas Ryan Worrell. Nicholas Craig Yon. Alexandra Marie Zacher. Daniela Zamudia Correa.
Would the class of 2017 please rise? You may move your tassels from right to left. By the power vested in me by the state of North Carolina and the Haywood County Board of Education, I now officially declare you graduates of Tuscola High School. Would everyone with us this evening please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class, the Tuscola High School class, the 50th class of 2017.